Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we have a ultra special um, box opening. Now this does look like it was a used version. It looks like it was opened up possibly for display purposes. Um, Today being Saturday, June 1st, in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, there was a Quad Fest, which was a comic and toy kind of fair or expo or whatever. So myself and one of my subscribers, very good friend, we were there, and he bought this for me to put up on the channel. So this is a very special edition just for this. Um, I was very surprised to see it there, and I was overly joyed that he picked this up for me. I cannot say enough for it. Um, so this is the Black Series First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter. So this should be the two-seater. Um, I don't know how I'm going to do this without being in the camera at some point. So um, for everybody that knows me, I try not to be in the camera. This isn't about me. This is about the silliness and the fun and the ideas that I come up with, but it's not, I'm not looking for any big fame or anything else. This is all for fun, but I just have to get this open. I just watched episode 2, and the itch is just getting there. I have to open this up. So here we are. We're going to get this up. This will be a special video coming out this week. I'm not exactly certain what day this is going to be up, but this will be up this week. I'm filming it on Saturday night, but it will be up sometime during this week. I think it's going to be probably Friday. I think I'll put this up for Figure Friday, but here we are. This will be an extra video because how cool is this? It's not every day you get a TIE Fighter dropped in your lap, and a wonderful gift. Again, a very big call out to my special friend and subscriber here. So looking at the box here, we do have our 6-inch figure pilot. We have some very nice artwork here. And of course I have all my Legos behind here and that as I'm trying to get this around. And reading first here, we have the elite of the First Order Starfighter pilots have access to specialized crafts such as the two-seater TIE craft outfitted with enhanced weapons and sensor systems. I'm going to guess that somehow this thing does have a hyperdrive in here, because when we do watch The Force Awakens, it does seem as though they do jump into hyperspace. With the rings going around, I'm going to say that's an advanced shield work going on here, as well as a capacitor for the weapon systems and everything else. I don't have any stats on this. None of my books actually go up to the newer trilogy, which is kind of fine in a way, but whether you like the newest trilogy, dislike the newest trilogy, for me, I always like the different ships and everything else that we get out of there, the ideas that we can get out of there, even if it's something you don't want to add into your game or whatever else, just the ships, the ideas and everything else, to say, hey, here's another progression that could have happened in there somewhere, but whatever. So to me, this seems more like another ground support unit, because it does have that extra cannon system on the back with a secondary gunner in there as well. So without further ado, let's start opening this up and seeing exactly what we have as I reach over the camera. So like I said, this does seem like it's been opened up, because it is not the standard regular tape here, and it has been taped up on the side, and this has the big 01 on here. So I've got some other series or Legos and all that on here from some of the other videos that we have done, as I am running out of room, and I've said that before, trying to figure out where we're going to go with everything. Uh-oh, I don't want to break this. Just kind of, okay. So this is going to be the hardest part, just trying to get everything kind of unboxed here. Once we do, oh shoot, now I'm kind of ripping the box a little bit. Okay, let's get this out and opened. I think she's together. It feels kind of like it is, but it kind of doesn't. All right. So this is kind of odd here. Let me try and see if I can't get this in frame for everybody watching here, as I have Legos. Okay. So we do have one piece of cardboard sitting here. Get that out of the way. And we have this big flap, and inside here we have our wings. Kind of getting one out. I think they're connected here in this cardboard. Just kind of slowly pulling this out. Once I get this out, then we're gonna get this out of here and oh, come on. I am ever so gently trying to get this out here. This is the coolest thing ever. Okay. Wow, that is a big honking wing. All right, I'm going to set this down behind us as we have one wing out. One wing or panel, however you want to describe it. We have our cockpit right here. Get that out in front of you. Just trying to get all the cardboard out of the way. And here's our other panel. The good news is I have a sofa behind me that I put stuff on, but unfortunately I'm running out of room. Okay, there's that. There is another piece in here. And then we have that. Okay, so that should be the box. Okay. There we go. Yes, I am a little camera shy. I don't like being on the camera. I'm always afraid I'm going to break the camera. All right, so I'm getting our pilot out of here. Try and do this so you guys can see. And I've mentioned this before, but okay, let's put you over here and you here. So as we look at this, and I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this on screen because this is so big here. Let me readjust this because now that we got all this out, I'm going to have to kind of readjust here. See, this is such a big box that I've got to kind of redo things. And I had to pull out my big tripod just to do this as well. So, okay. So I think we're good here. All right. So when we look at the TIE Fighter pilot, and I've said this before, if you notice, he's got a special suit. So if the TIE Fighter itself actually kind of gets destroyed, he can go out into space and he'll be in a vacuum suit, which is what this is. So that way he's safe. So I've kind of talked about this before. The fact that they're still doing this, you know, I'm not going to say that maybe in the newer versions, maybe that is kind of self-contained, so you can take the helmet off. You know, because we do see that in like the Rebels and all that stuff. Now, whether that was the original idea or not, I don't know. I just know that they've always been in an enclosed suit, so maybe they can take their helmet off, but they're always like this, so that way if it gets destroyed, they're safe and sound. Much like in the Rebel Alliance, the cockpit typically is also an escape pod. So this just might be their way of making sure that they're safe in a destruction of the TIE fighters. So seeing that they do not have a escape pod. So as we look the figure over, we do have our nice classic ankles, so you can go back and forth depending on how he's standing. So if he's got a wider stance or narrow stance, we can widen it out, and his feet sit flat. Of course, now I can't get him to stand correctly, but I can get him to stand. It's just that for whatever reason, I think I get the legs a little off, and of course we have the front and back are standard. Now, he does not have a twist down here below the knee, but he does have that double knee joint, so he can. And this looks like it's been moved a couple times. These joints are moving a little bit easier, but he can lift his leg up, so he can reach back. He can kind of do a little little stretching exercises, so that way he's not too cramped up inside of the cockpit here, which is always kind of nice and neat to see. He does have some pouches here, which we can't get into. He does have his pistol, so I'm looking to see where the pistol goes. I don't see where the pistol goes. We gotta have a pouch or something on here, I'm sure. We'll figure that out. And then as far as the arm goes, oh, we do have twists. I didn't mention that. We do have a twist on the upper leg here, so we have that. Torso twist just underneath his armor here, and he has a little bit of a ball to kind of sit up a little bit, but not a lot. That armor takes up some of that room. And we only have the single ball joint for the arm, so he can't move the arm back very far, but he can move it back somewhat. And we do have, see, just a single joint here at the elbow. Yep. Okay, so it can twist just above the elbow, and we only have a single joint, so you can try and grab hold of the controls. There we are. So I'm guessing he's going to be sitting something like this in our cockpit. So, but I don't see a spot for his pistol. So that does kind of lead a little bit off to, because normally we have a holster, which is really cool. I just don't see a spot here. Now, I'm trying to look this over, trying to stay out of the camera view, because this isn't about me, this is about this. But I just don't see a spot here to put that. We do have these. I don't know exactly what they're for. Now, again, I have had one person that's a pilot that responded to some of this. Now, if you're watching this, if you would know what these would be for, or anybody else has an idea what that might be for, please let me know. Because honestly, I don't know. I can tell you a little bit about a Bradley, but from many years ago. But for that itself, now the head, because we have this hose going here for respirator, he can move it up and down just a little bit, but not all that much. But there we are. Okay, and so you can see his pistol a little bit. It is a nice looking pistol. Looks like it does have some sort of a, maybe like a scope or something there, which I think is, you know, this could be a hot take, but one of the things I remember, because keep this in mind, I was mechanized infantry. Now I had to carry an M16, and my gunner and my track commander, they both had M16s. At the time when I was in, their M16s had to be in the kind of crew compartment, not inside the turret. So to me, it was kind of silly. I think that they should have had like sidearms on them. Something ever happens, they can't get into, or they can't exit the turret they're sitting there without a gun at all. Now, would I have really wanted a smaller sidearm or something on me when I was a driver? Yeah, but would it actually make more sense that I had an M16? Yes, it would have. So I'm not arguing that point. But for these guys, I don't think they really need much of a scope on there, because my viewpoint was always, if it's something big enough to take out the track and I have to escape, I don't think it matters if I have a pistol or a rifle. It's probably big enough to take me out too. So that's where I'm going with that. Okay, let's see what we got here. A little bit of tape. Oh, and we have a piece that came off here. Okay, so this, oh no, that's broke. That piece is broke. Not saying I can't glue it, because I don't think I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not selling it. I could glue it back on, but that piece is broke. Now, whether it was me taking it out of the box or not, I don't know, and I'm not blaming anyone else. Just saying it is broke, though. But that's how she should sit. Now, I'm going to show this to you because we have the wings off. We do have the two seats in here. So this is kind of nice. I don't know how well you guys can see this. Okay. Gotta remember I'm going backwards here. Actually, I got a little flashlight handy, so that way you guys can see inside there. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, we do have some nice flight controls. It is a little on the tight side back, or in there for both sides, and we do have some like targeting sensors and that on the front as well as on the back. So this is a very interesting setup. And if you notice on the back, this is all redesigned here. Traditionally, our engines are sitting down here, because this is a pod that comes off, and our engines are sitting down here. Now this is all reformatted, so we have some bigger engines here. So for this to possibly have a hyperdrive, this might explain some of it, and it might even be faster because there may be bigger ion engines and hyperdrive capable. So we'll think of that as we go along. Now, let's see what else we have here. Okay, so this looks like another turret piece, and then that's our cannons for underneath here. So I don't know if this is here and where this goes. That feels like that would fit in there. We have our booklet here. Let's go look at our booklet before I put this together and realize I goofed something up. All right, because this is really exciting here. Okay, so looking at the booklet, this is our antenna, and then this is our gunnery underneath. So let's get the wings on before we put those on, and then that's our top cover. I am kind of curious. Nope, that does not come out there. So this is going to sit up here, and the gun's going to sit underneath, but let's get the wings on. Ah, great. I got the tape on a Lego figure. Oh my goodness, this thing is going to be tall. Okay. So there's one side. And like I said, I want to see that this would be like a capacitor ring, maybe for the shield system, where we didn't have shields before on TIE fighters. Not until we got later on, where we got more like the TIE Advanced than that. Or not the TIE Advanced, the TIE, well yeah, the TIE Advanced. And, oh my lord, look at this. Now I'm going to have to try and see if you guys can even see all this. So I may have to lift all this up again. And then this is going to go up here. So that's there. This sits down there. There's our cannons, and of course that's got to get glued on. So we will have to glue that on. And we will get her looking about right. Okay. And there's that. Alright. I'm going to give him his pistol. So my idea here is I want to get him so he's kind of leaning on this. There you go. I had to get his knees all straightened up. Like he's kind of leaning back right here on the tie. Now, let's see if you guys can see all this. Alright, and I will have to adjust things. Oh my goodness, this is a big boy. Okay, I'm going to move the camera back a little bit more so you can really see here. Yep, that's as high as that goes too. Okay. So that is it. Now where I'm going to fit this, I have no clue at the moment, but oh my goodness, is that a cool thing. So here we have our figure, and that is a tie to his scale, and we can get 2 people in there. So very cool, very neat. Very, very neat. Oh my goodness. We have to find some proper place to put this, but I don't know where. Goodness gracious. I think I could have my Lego farm underneath there because it's so big. But I've got other stuff kind of sitting on top of it because, like I said, I've been saying this for a while. I'm running out of room. But what you don't see is I got our bunnies, and we got rummage sale stuff that we have to get rid of. But it will be gone at some point. But until then, my wife puts up with me, and we have to work things through. But just coolness. Whether you like the last trilogy or not, just to say you have a TIE fighter that is to a 6-inch scale is just completely cool. Really awesome. You can see some slight imperfections. This bows out a little bit here, and I can see a bow here a little bit. Let's be honest though. This is a lot of plastic, and it's not very thick, and I think no matter what you do, you're probably liable to have a little bit of issue like that. So I don't think it's really their design issue. I think it's just something that's going to happen. I don't know how you would ever fix that. The weapon felt good. The figure felt good. Only, like I said, this was a used one. Now, I don't know if it broke off from me or if it broke off just in the box or whatever, but there it is. And we can get that glued on. That shouldn't be a problem. Is it kind of a bummer? Yeah, maybe a little bit. My friend subscriber, he got a good price on this. If it's a minor little flaw like that, not a big deal. It was boxed up, trying to have it as proper as they could. I'm not blaming whoever had this. This is a great display piece. I don't think I'm going to be flying this around the house. Who knows, maybe I might turn into a little 5-year-old kid again and just fly it around the house, at least just to do it once. But this is really a cool thing. Having the different engines in the back, because I don't really remember seeing it. With everything else going on, I didn't really pay much attention to it. I'm just being honest, because it's not like the other movies where I've watched them so many times. And I do remember this having, because they were on Jakku, and then they end up, where else did they end up? No, actually they crash landed it. But they were having other TIE fighters of this type jumping all over, so they must have hyperdrive in all their TIE fighters at that point. So it is what it is, and I'm not arguing it either way. course, this is a Special Forces tie. It would make a lot of sense for them to have a hyperdrive on here, much like how the Rebel Alliance had a hyperdrive on theirs. On pretty much all their fighters. You can do hit and run tactics or whatever, and that really adds to the flexibility of your ship. I know that there's somebody out on YouTube, and you can try and look it up. Somebody has developed a TIE Fighter hyperdrive ring. So look that up on YouTube. They did a very good job at it, being a front-mounted ring. So you'd kind of fly into it. It would kind of clip on there. It would let you jump into hyperdrive, and then it'd be a kind of a disposable thing. So an interesting concept, interesting design, and he had that all animated. So he digitally did it and animated it and everything else. So it was very interesting. But yeah, looking at this, very awesome, very cool. I think we're going to have this up on Friday. So this should be out. I'm trying to think this through. 6 days, so would it be like the 6th, 7th, whatever the Friday is. This will be up on there. This is when you guys will be watching it, but I had to break it open tonight because just how cool is this? It is very nice, very cool, and yeah. All right, well, hope you guys are excited to see this. I don't know how many of you have seen it. I can't say that I've actually looked in that to see how many people have this. And now I can honestly say I've got a nice big TIE Fighter. So, all right, we'll see you in the next video.